Hello, 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 hello. Oh my goodness. Grymm's just stepped away for a second to grab me some tissues because I'm sneezing, which some of you know that usually indicates that there is some spirit activity afoot. Yes, it's just one of the little, thank you babe, one of those quirky little things about being gussied up that happens. Pardon me. So hello and welcome. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see a damn thing up there. I just know that Grymm pressed the live stream button. So here we are at 420 Tarot, and you might hear the sound of hissing cats in the background. Mouse, little church mouse, our little kitten, has found his way up to the chapel up here. He's old enough to hold his own with the other kitty cats and Callie. But they're still finding their equilibrium, and you know, he's still intact. Sir Mouse is. So it is probably going to shift again, their connection, if you will. So come on in, have a seat wherever you are, have a seat, join us. Grymm and I are here at the old church with the purple door. And it used to just be the old church, but then we painted the doors purple, and hey, why not, right? Like, we are here loud and proud. Hi, babe.
Hello.
Come join us. Oh, this is my tea.
That's
I was
your tea.
thinking that was your coffee, but I realized. So I just told everybody I can't see a blasted thing up there.
That's okay,
Is
baby.
anybody there?
We've got one person here, no clue. Two persons here.
Oh, good.
No clue who they are, but hello.
Hello, hello. Make sure you say something down in the comments so we know who's here with us today. This is 420-ish Tarot with Gussy and Grymm.
I was just admiring the ladder in the background.
Well, that's a project going on.
Yes, it sure is.
That's a project going on here at the old church. Grymm is in the process of scraping that ceiling. And this go around, we're not going to be able to take it back to its original tin. We just can't financially handle that at the point we are, but we are going to make it look much better than it is looking right now.
Yep, it is getting a repaint job, but we're going to match the paint as much as we can to the original tin color, so at least it still has that tin feel.
That noise every once in a while that sounds like somebody's letting off steam is actually a cat. Yeah, they're not very happy in here together today for some reason.
Well, Boog is in the bride's room now.
Well, who's hissing?
That was Mouse.
Who's he hissing at?
It's Shadow. Carpenter ant.
Oh no, that's the second one I've seen recently. Go get him. Sorry. I know the whole Zen thing, we're all connected in life and such, but this is our house. There cannot be a carpenter ant in the house. No, 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 no.
You have actually a very explicit set of rules when it comes to...
I do. You know, so far, I haven't had to put carpenter ants on the list because they've left us alone, but they're going to have to go on the list now. They're going to get their rules laid out before them.
Now, is it going to be a different set of rules
No.
than what the...
Spiders?
Okay.
No.
Or the bees? Or
No.
do you have rules for the bees?
I have an agreement with the bees.
Okay. I guess rules is the wrong word, isn't it? It's an agreement, understanding.
Yeah.
And the spiders, they've been honoring it for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jane Husky says hello.
Hi, Jane. It's good to see you. Nice to have you here with Grymm and I. Just having a cup of tea and hanging out at the old church. Here's Mouse. He has grown quite a bit. For those of you that have seen him from kittenhood, he's 4 months old. And quite the little guy, aren't you, bud? Yes, that is him. So if you visit us, you got to visit Mouse too. Of course, we have 5 cats here all together.
He's even ignoring the favorite toy, his new favorite toy.
Oh, that carpenter ant in there. He found the carpenter ant carcass. Yeah. Yeah, you got to establish some kind of boundaries with the animals that live in and on your property, because, you know, inevitably the spiders, the ants, the little roly-polies, the little ladybugs, I mean, they all just, they're part and parcel.
Those really cool silverfish that...
Oh! I mean, my rule is as long as I don't see you. Right?
Is that with the spiders, as long as you don't see them, or they have to be...
Spiders, I give a little bit of leeway because I need to be able, they need to be seen to be able to do their job.
I see. Okay.
So I do kind of let them
Not over
go.
your bed.
Yeah, that's a continual problem right over my bed. And I just told that last little batch, I'm like, you people, you need to talk to your other people. Like there's a communication breakdown on the spider end because they're not getting the memo to stay away from above my bed. They really need to.
Well, they're watching over.
That they are. And they're a sign of creativity, you know.
Yes, they are.
So when one walks across you, that is supposed to bring good luck.
Okay,
too.
so let me ask this about spiders being good luck. I'm up in the second loft that never gets used. It's completely vacant.
The one over there where the ladder is.
Where you see the ladder back there in the corner there. And as I'm up there scraping the paint off of the ceiling, I'm looking down off my ladder and I see on the floor in the corner the biggest pile of spider carcass. I mean, I'm talking, I could sweep it up in probably a dustpan and a half of dead bugs and
Moths, other spiders.
So I'm admiring how much those spiders up in that corner are accomplishing, and I'm feeling kind of puny about, well, I got to take down their nests.
Yeah, what did you do?
I haven't yet.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, in just cobweb alone in that lower corner, up there on the floor, I could probably fill a dustpan with just the cobweb.
Oh my.
And then there's all of the detritus on the floor underneath that batch of web that shows that these spiders have been colonizing that spot for generations.
Well, they left Mist alone when she slept up in the loft. So
no,
you know.
we're on opposite sides.
Oh, you're on the other side. Oh yeah, they haven't been touched. That's like New Zealand and Australia. No, it really is. It really is. It's
completely different flora and fauna.
Yeah. We thought about building someday some kind of a bridge between the two, but then it would really, you know, kind of block off the look of the stained glass windows, because they are quite breathtaking when you are standing in here and looking up. I mean, there's one in front of us. It's about 5 feet away right now, but it's 20 feet high, and it's just a glorious thing to be here.
Is that the impression you have? 20 feet?
Yeah, 20.
Because the windows themselves are 12, but they do look huge.
Well, maybe 15 then, because I'm looking here like that's like 10 foot there, and another 5.
Yeah, between off the floor and up there, it is probably about 15 feet. Anywho's, Mona says hi.
Hey, hello. And while we're here gathering, waiting for people to still arrive, please share if you can take a second to share this around. We certainly would love word of mouth advertising. That's the only thing we do. We don't do anything else. So if you know someone that needs a reading, and we don't have the fancy schmancy. You gotta know somebody. So somebody. So reach out if you need some help, but also share this if you can, because we're going back live streaming again when we feel up to it. And today we both kind of felt up to it, didn't we?
Yeah.
So,
And both felt up to being on camera.
yeah, we did. We did.
The stars aligned.
I even put a little makeup on today.
LJ says howdy.
Hi, LJ. Good to see you. I know they had kind of a rough trip up here and back again. I'm glad you made it back home.
Karen Springer says hi.
Like, hi, Karen.
You had a hard time spitting that one out,
I'm
didn't
having
you?
a hard time right at the moment. Hi, Karen. I almost called her Clarence.
Clarence?
So that's what was coming out of my Clarence.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, why?
Does that name resonate with you in any way?
I hope not. No,
I'm
it
kinda
resonates
curious.
with me.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does.
It does. It does. It really does.
Oh, wow. I thought you severed that cord a minute ago.
Me too. We might need to talk, Karen Springer. What you up to, lady? Make sure you're not cut off there, babe. We love your face. Get in here. You little handsome werewolf, you. So here we are, 420 Tarot, and we've got 3 decks in front of us. We thought we would just kind of do what we normally do, which is ramble for a while and chit-chat with you as the crow flies. And let's do it at the same time. You ready? Ready?
Well, you got to go that way. and
Okay,
then-
ready?
Oh,
Oh, ooh. One more time. We're really bad at this. We can't even time this. There we go. Anywho,
Shelly's tagging a bunch of folks.
oh, thank you, Shelly.
I already have a jumper.
You really do. Well, you have more like a dumper. It sort of dumped out.
Yeah, it did.
Dumped out of the deck. You got the Dark Mansion Tarot.
I'm just gonna keep shuffling here for a little bit longer while we wait for people
I'm
to
going to
log
pull one of these.
in. I really want to bridge the deck, but I know what will happen if we do that.
What?
When we shuffle, I want to bridge it, but that's what happened to this deck, was all the constant.
Oh, yeah. Well, this deck, that's a lot of readings. It's a lot of readings. That's why it's bent. But I had a card jumping out already for the, this is just to get us rolling, right? Just to kind of get things warmed up. This is Life Supports Me. It's funny that this one should pop out here today, just yesterday or maybe the day before, because it sort of all rolls together. I had posted something on the Purple Door about, when are we going to be tired of, working so hard, 40 hours a week, and then, finally retiring when we're too old to really appreciate it anymore and our bodies are broken. I had posted something about that yesterday. And somebody on the Purple Door had responded, well, several people did, but one in particular had responded in a somewhat negative way. Sure, that's fine if you have a cushy bank account. And it's really true, she's not wrong. Like, you're absolutely right. If you have a cushy bank account, you can say all kinds of things about stopping, about no longer being pushed around, about, making positive choices for this next chapter of your own life and how you want it to go, instead of how it has been going all, so far, because a lot of those decisions were based on the needs and guidance of other people, right? Now you're like turning you got the big, I was going to say wagon wheel, but I mean captain's wheel. That's it. You got the captain's wheel and you're trying to find your own true north. And this card makes sense to me because I did respond to that gal. I said, for us, we do live frugally. Grymm and I do not live a fancy schmancy life. Ask anybody that comes here to stay with us. We years ago in 2019 decided that we were going to give this a go. We told the universe, if you support us, we'll support you. And we have never looked back. And sometimes, I fret and stew a little bit. I get into my little girly modes and I wish I could go buy the latest this and that. But for the most part, we're happier this way, not being so tied to commercialism and the want of a dollar all of the time, right?
And to kind of elaborate on that, we were also lucky enough to be able to make that decision.
Right. Well, and I want to read the rest of this card because I think because I don't want to make anybody feel guilty.
Hi, Maria. Hi, Vicky.
I don't want anyone to feel guilty if they're still in the 9-to-5 grind or still, there. That is not the intention, to make anyone feel guilty, because we have all been there. Well, most of us anyways, maybe not all, but most of us. But the other side of this card says, life created me to be fulfilled. Let that just sink in there. I trust life, and life is always there at every turn. I am safe.
That was the first card that we drew when we started using this deck a few days ago.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a different one.
It's the same quote because it's been cycling in my head. I am safe.
I am safe is so important, because I think that's one of the reasons we work and work and work and work and work and work and work, is because we need to feel safe. We need to feel like we have safety net around us. And unfortunately, in our American culture, that means having a lot of things too, a lot of times, doesn't it? And
it can for some.
And the thing is about that, we've had things. I've had lots of things. They've come and gone. Right now we have lots of things, don't we? We're in a things phase, but we're not always in a things phase. But let's allow today to feel like, for a moment, even if you're feeling a little scattered right now, life supports me. Life supports me. I'm safe. Even if you might be feeling another way.
It's kind of, I know for so many of us out there that are in that 9-to-5 grind, don't get enough even to feel safe at the end of the month when it comes down to the pay we get.
Oh yeah. That's why some people are working 2-3 jobs.
Yeah. And I think if you can redefine for yourself what safe means and start manifesting that. And what I'm trying to say there is, no matter how many hours you work, at the end of the pay schedule, a lot of us are always still lacking. There's more bills than there is money.
We've been talking about lack a lot lately.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like that's been a topic.
And as Gussy said, it's hard to feel safe at the end of the month when your bills aren't met. And here we are saying, trust the universe.
Right.
But
sure, Gussy. Yeah. I'm trusting the universe to feed my kids. And
so I think you also, in the beginning, have to define for yourself what safe means. What is, kitty cat's just laying there all still.
I wish you guys could see him. He's all sleeping over in this chair.
Define what safe means. What are the needs that you absolutely have to have met? Everything above and beyond that's gravy, but I want you to also not tell yourself in any way, shape, or form that you just want a simple life.
Oh, that's tricky.
And there's a reason behind that, and that is, so many of us say we want enough to have a simple life, to make things easy, to have our needs met.
I'm having my needs met, right?
You're having your needs met. But when we ask for a simple life, we have to understand that the word simple means to live without. Simple means to live in lack. So define what safe means to you, building in the prosperity that you're seeking in life.
Thanks for the hair. Stop by again soon.
Gussy, when we were...
You got it in there?
When you were talking about this card here and I was shuffling, 2 cards fell out.
Yes.
2 jumper cards. So I stopped shuffling and I set the deck down and I looked down and it wasn't 2 cards, it was 4 cards.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
So I'm just going to lay them all out. I don't know if I have the gumption to do 4 cards.
Well, I can help you, but I also wanted to tell you, as I was putting that one back in the deck, life supports me, I am safe.
Yeah.
This one popped out. It fell out.
Oh, wow.
And so it also has to do with finances. And so we cannot ignore the synchronicity right now.
No, we cannot.
So we're going to read the second card right now. It says, so remember, we just said life supports me, right? I'm created to be fulfilled and I trust life. Life is there. I am safe. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. We've pulled this card before, but not all of us are really convinced about this. It wouldn't keep continually kind of coming up. And I know I've been working on this one a lot recently because Grymm and I are in the process of kind of redefining who we are as Gussy and Grymm and what we're going to do, how much, how much effort we're going to put into the grind again. And we want to come back stronger, not just make, me sick again, essentially. And so the other side of this card is, you want to read it? Because, hey, I love your voice. And also, I would like to hear what it says.
So the front of the card again says, go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I had my eyes closed. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income.
I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. I am unlimiting, being accepting from, and unlimited sources. Let me reread this.
Yeah.
I got lost in trying to read that first
that
sentence.
was a great choice, Gussy. Wow.
Yeah. No, that first sentence, though, that
No,
first
come back.
sentence is what I stumbled here because it really hit me in the heart.
Let me hear it again.
I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. And that, wow, that.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So many times when I'm envisioning my path forward, wanting to manifest my future and bring it towards me as I walk towards it, so we can meet somewhere in the middle, I forget that there's going to be unexpected avenues of goodness that I may look over because I'm so focused on that, what I'm trying to manifest, and I know what I need to do to put the steps into place to manifest that end goal. And before I know it, in the rearview mirror, I'm looking at, oh, I let that door close. I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources.
You want to know where that hit for me? It's a little bit different than what you just said.
Okay, that's awesome.
It's just a little bit different.
Tell us in the comments what that meant to you.
Yeah, what does that phrase, and there's more to this card.
Mm-hmm.
I am an unlimited being accepting from an unlimited source in an unlimited way. I am blessed beyond my fondest dreams. I now receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. So you know how I'm always going on about, like, words have power. Make sure that you're, expressing yourself. And I don't mean to make fun of myself, but I do feel like that's one of my mantras that I'm always out there. You too. We're always reminding people words have power.
Exactly.
Make sure that you choose words wisely, because what you think, what you speak is what you receive. It's what comes to you. It's like the universe goes, oh, Gussy's talking a lot about a broken toe. Yeah, we should probably make that hurt worse. No, but I'm using that as an example.
No, but what you're actually, I think what you're saying though is, because the universe does seek a balance, you got to imagine that you're on one end of a seesaw, and everything that you say lands on the other end of that seesaw.
But here's my catch.
Okay.
And those of you that follow us know that, talking about money, abundance, lack, success, like bringing around, watch my toe, playing footsie with me, but that's my broken freaking toe.
Speaking of broken toe.
Yeah, thank you, babe. When I read that line, I realized that my perception of money if I may, just for a minute, I'm gonna just wax philosophic here. But my perception of money has to do with greed. It has to do with, I know this sounds crazy, but it's not, I mean, I hate, erase that. I don't want to say that crazy sentence anymore because I'm trying to teach a lot of my students. I'm like, let's not say we're crazy. Let's not preface it with that. Even though we know it sounds a little off kilter, we don't need to like tell people that all the time. We need to step forward in our confidence and know that what we're speaking is the truth, right? So now where was I going? We were talking about that card. Money. My concept of money has to do with greed, has to do with death. I don't know, there's like a past life thing. Has to do with people hoarding and people not being, you know, there's lack, and there's typically lack. And I didn't even come from a poor family growing up. So I didn't physically, in this lifetime, I did not experience lack as a young woman.
But have you always had that same
I have always had that relationship. And
so it's an emotional.
And I remember a few years ago when we were at the Covenstead in Washington State, and we were doing some kind of ritual. I don't remember, but I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to release the contract that some of us have made toward a life of like basically abstinence from, from making any real money. We have spent other lifetimes in servitude to, if you want to think of like a monk's life, a druidic life, whatnot.
Well, not just that. You're hitting on the vows of poverty that many of us have probably made in past lives.
Right, and we have tried to break those, allow ourselves to release the ties that bind.
But
it's still something I come up with. Well, we did, but can I finish what I was going to say here? Because that whole line about I now receive my good from expected. My good, that's supposed to say I now receive my success. I now receive my money. I now receive my abundance. I now receive my prosperity. When I think of money, I don't think of good. I think, if I had money, I would do good. I would do good with it, but I don't think about money as good. So I need to shift my perspective and allow goodness to flow.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, that is a big one for me because I know there's been something like I've been wrestling with money for a really long time, like just not quite grasping where my understanding of it is. And if I'm constantly, it was like we were trying to grow lavender here at the old church. You'd think we would grow it beautifully, right? It's a great old property. All the lavender died, nothing else, just all the lavender. Well, there are a few people that live here on the property that don't particularly like lavender. Now, I'm not saying they went out and poisoned it because that's not what happened. But the constant, I hate lavender, I dislike lavender, it has a vibrational frequency. And so I forgot to counterbalance that when I planted the lavender here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I planted it and then left it kind of to some predatory.
That does roll back into the vow of poverty that needs to be broken. And I think, I'm not going to speak for you, I'll speak for myself on this. I never took it into the depths of, it's not just the vow of poverty that one of my religious selves took back in some past lives. 99% of the lives that I lived, I can honestly say, were in servitude of somebody in control of money.
And let's not forget that if we've taken a vow of poverty, it isn't just our past lives necessarily. It could be the past lives of great-great-great-great-grandfathers whose decision to honor a vow of poverty has affected the whole family line
all the way
right
down
the line.
Yeah.
And so there are I forgot you're wearing that ring. You're wearing my face.
I'm wearing
You look good with my rings,
I'm wearing
babe.
all of your jewelry.
How did that happen? Oh my gosh, you want to read these cards?
Well, actually, I don't know.
Because this whole goodness and money, and that's really kind of blowing my mind. I
need to digest. And the reason I said I don't know is because, like I said, when I was shuffling the cards and the 2 jumpers fell out, and I said we're good with the number of cards we need, and then I looked down and there's actually
and now you've
4.
got 4.
But on top of that, they were all reversed.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
And that's what threw me for a flummox, because I'm looking at what we were talking about as what these cards are
I
relevant
like how you
to.
keep pushing them in front of me.
No, I'm pushing. Yeah, you're right, I am, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. Every time you move them over.
They're scaring me.
You're scared, Grimmer?
I'm scared.
You got 4.
I've got 4 cards. All of them reversed. All wrapped up in the energy of talking about money.
Well, here's what you're supposed to do in this case. Let me
Okay.
show you. You're only supposed to go one at a time.
Always
so that you don't get overwhelmed if they're all reversed. See, that's what you do. Is just one at a time, babe. Now you can do it. So what does that tell you, that card right
I
there?
already know they're all reversed, though.
I know, but look at that card.
I don't remember what they are, though, to be honest with
I know,
you.
so look at that card.
I'll get over here and...
Yeah, let them see you. Hi, Boog. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Well, first I'll show off the card. I want you to first focus on the Queen of Cups' face. The Queen of Cups' face. Oh, can you see it? There we go. I think I'm getting it into focus. There we go. You see how content she looks? Queen of Cups sitting there on her throne. Cup in her hand. Contently overlooking her kingdom. But we got this card pulled in the reverse. And I would dare say that every person that stumbles across this live stream and has watched it up to this point, either live or later on in the road, at some point has felt very discontent in their kingdom. Their whole world felt very much upside down. Does that apply to you right now? Does your kingdom, as you survey it, make you feel something less than content? And we're discussing money.
Mm-hmm.
Our vows of poverty, our relationship with money, our emotional understanding of money.
Right. Well, and I noticed, if I may, before
Go
you
ahead.
flip, I noticed, this is the Queen of Cups. We're usually about, welcoming abundance, accepting the positivity and kind of like the gifts that you worked for, But when it's in the reverse position, that cup is upside down, isn't it? And so that's what I immediately was drawn to in the reverse, that there's the cup is tipped over, there's nothing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Time to rebuild.
Time to rebuild, yep.
What's the next one?
We've got the 10 of Pentacles here. And I love this deck because the artwork to it really speaks to me.
I do too.
Put this one up here. The 10 of Pentacles.
That was in the reverse as
And
well?
it was in the reverse. And this is interesting because I don't know. I have to really think about, okay, what does this card mean? What is this? And then I have to go, no. What does this card feel like in this moment?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And right now, what it feels like in this moment is you're sitting in your chair way down the road. And behind you is your family, your friends, your support. Is it balanced? Is your family around you, or is your friends around you because they just want to be, or is there an obligation to be? Do you feel like they should be there?
Why you gotta go so deep, Grim?
Well, I think there's some of us that might be feeling like when we reach that time when we can sit down and relax and say, I'm done. And we look at the people around us. Did we surround ourselves with people that honestly want to be in our lives?
That honestly support the decision that you make for yourself.
Yes.
Right. It is important.
And if you're balanced and everything's nice and pretty, you've got that support structure behind you, your golden years of spirituality won't be fraught with discontent. You won't be left doubting your own spiritual path because you're not constantly battling the people behind you to keep up with you.
You know what I saw on this card?
I don't know what that had to do with money.
Well, the Ten of Pentacles. So, well, there's a lot to do with money with the Pentacles card. Well, there's a lot to do with abundance in the Pentacles card.
But my interpretation of it in that moment I didn't feel money in that one. That's why I said
What I feel is, now I can't get in touch with it. Shush. Hold on. It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. Yeah, there's a bit of a limitation here. It's kind of like you've got yourself locked down in a jail cell, if you will, thinking that you're too old, beyond help, too frail. It's too late, and there's this little mischievous side that still kind of hangs out there, going, "Wait a minute, it isn't really too late. You really should move forward on this, But it's like you're afraid to do it, and it's something that you've thought about for a really long time. Now is not the time to hold back on that stuff. Now is the time to manifest what you see for yourself in this next part of the journey. Because when people are running around right now, when you hear new agers saying, it's the new era of Earth, it's the new age, it's the blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not talking the political stuff. That's not the kind of stuff, the wokeness I'm talking about. But when you hear other people talk about these shifts, where was I going?
I don't know. You derailed yourself with politics, didn't you?
I did. Damn it. Damn it. Republicans and Democrats.
You want to move on, or you want to try?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I've lost it.
The next jumper card was the Eight of Wands. I just love the artwork on these.
But of course, the Eight of Wands was reversed, and where that pulls me into thinking when we were discussing the concept of money and wealth and prosperity and whatnot is it takes more than one type of magic sometimes to, how do I put this?
I don't know, but I wish they could see that light.
I know, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Gosh, yes.
A lot of folks get so wrapped up in what kind of magic they are, what kind of magic they use, what kind of witch they are. They grab a hold of this wand, and that is the magic that they utilize. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what resonates with you. But if you find yourself feeling like that particular path, there's something just not quite working with this wand, it's okay to have some more in your back pocket that you can swap out with from time to time.
That's why we call ourselves ish witches.
Yes, ish witches.
Some people think that's silly, but for us, we improvise as we need to.
Yeah.
We go with the flow in every moment when it comes to magic. We have to. Our life has been, that's one of the things that we have learned. One of the things that you give up when you choose to let life support you and you jump off the 9-to-5 wagon and into this other sort of blissfulness that we experience, you've got to be ready for the chaos.
Yeah.
Because that's where...
So I think
that's where it's always around.
When you make the decision to step outside of the chaos and you realize that you're still in the chaos.
It's just a different type of chaos.
It really is, but it's one that I feel that I'm in more control of, that I can dip into and draw off of
Right.
what I need. And
I agree.
I think part of the reason is because I have allowed myself to explore and dig deep different
Right.
paths.
Right. And for those of you that are he's talking about digging deep and exploring different paths. I hear what you're saying. I have dug deep and explored different paths. I'd like to dig a little deeper, but then I think, but what, to what end? Like, really, because I'm experiencing such,
Well, that's where you need to be like water, though, and just flow. And when something comes along that piques your interest, allow a tributary of yourself to flow down that path.
And that's, for me, what this card, this Eight of Wands card, is a reminder that, you know, and I've been saying this a lot recently too, our past lives right now, just all of this information is coming at you. If you allow yourself to re-access
Remember
that information, it's a wild time right now. It's like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at the old Disney World.
You know, before we read this
It's all over the place.
before we read this last card, I want to say hi to Candace, and she said you were talking to her about that last night, moving forward.
Constance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maria says yep
We
about
did.
something.
We talked about moving forward a lot.
Constance says Ishwich. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're caught up with those, and
My excuse is I can't see a damn thing.
you can't, can you?
No.
We got the sun here in reverse. It's so weird that all of these came into reverse today. All the jumpers.
This is a well shuffled deck, so for it to be this many reverse cards is interesting.
And again, it was the sun reversed. You know, when we're kids, children, it says here, a travel, something about being impossible. I can't quite tell what that's in French, it looks like.
Yeah.
But it's two kids staring out a window up at the sunshine, and that just makes me feel so much like when I was a kid. The world.
The journey of the impossible.
The journey of the impossible. Is that what that says? The voyage of the impossible? Yeah, okay. Or travel the journey of the impossible. Something
Don't
like
get
that.
hung up on the words.
I won't. Well, it's funny. It kind of applies.
It does.
When I was a kid, I remember limitless possibilities. When I would dream about being the greatest baseball player, the greatest astronaut, the greatest. It was always unlimited in that potential as a kid. But that view now is upside down. I've put limitations on myself. I've stopped saying that whatever pursuit that I take on, I'm going to become the greatest at. And there's nothing wrong with saying you will become the greatest at. Because the only way you can become the greatest is to continue the journey. To keep moving forward in the exploration of who you are.
Yeah, there's a big difference between considering yourself the greatest at something, or great at something, versus hubris.
Yes.
Which is like kind of, you know, unrelenting self-confidence to the point that, you know, it's uncomfortable for everyone. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about supporting yourself on this part of the journey. And even if things might not be exactly clear to you in which direction that you're supposed to go right now, you know, stay the course right now. Allow yourself to connect with your past lives. Allow yourself to connect with your ancestors. Allow yourself to connect with your own good. You know, I think so often we're so tired and we run on empty and life is a challenge and people are coming at us and whatnot, that it is, you know, we've been talking about choose happy for a while, but you know, maybe it's time to choose good for a change too. And all that includes, right? This whole concept about money being good it's kind of like, because I always, if I could do away with money, if I could have more like a Star Trek utopian, you know, everybody just like does their thing, and you know, and that all seems very happy and synchronistic. And I don't really know if that's actually possible for humanity down the road. But I will say that if we didn't have to deal with money anymore, I'd be very happy about that. We have a friend who's written well, I don't know if it's a book or a podcast or both,
It's
but
a
it's
little
all
bit of
about...
both now. It's a short book, Justin, yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in the comments after our chat here. It's a book about living in a money-free society.
In a money-free society, like bartering as...
Yeah. And he goes into some pretty creative arguments about how it could be possible, but the struggles that we would have to undergo as a society to get there. So it's a pretty honest look at what it would take to do too.
Right.
Anyway, JB says hi.
That's cool. Hey JB, you've been on my mind a lot recently. Nice to see you. Well, I can't really see anything, but I can feel you.
You know, you had said something about past lives and we do talk about past lives a lot and ancestors, but it just dawned on me that as we are moving into this next phase of our ascension,
yeah,
for you and I know that we did this back a few years ago. We kind of had these sudden downloads of spiritual inspiration that we should explore, and now we're back into another one of those phases. Another one of those phases where we're all of our past lives, we have experienced a multitude of emotions, a multitude of experiences, a multitude of decisions that we had to make in order to live our best possible life in that life. So I challenge us to do something as we move into this next phase of our ascensions. There's this phrase that we've all heard in our lives, what would Jesus do? And that's actually a pretty good question, but I want to take it one step further and just say, what would you do? When a situation arises that you have to make a decision, instead of saying, what would Jesus do? What would I do? And tap into those past lives, how did they handle these situations and what did that get them? Was it a successful, energetic outcome?
I have this deck here. Mm-hmm. I was putting away the cards because I know we're kind of winding things down. And I was putting away these Power Thought cards. There are 64 cards in this deck. And there are certain ones that are always popping out. Mm-hmm. And like this one I've never seen before, which I'm about to show you.
Another one of those.
But look what it says. I am safe.
Oh.
I am safe. It's only change.
It's only change.
And I think that's the difference for us, is we got to a point when, you know, not having a 9-to-5 job didn't mean that we were unsafe. It just meant another shift, another change.
And as long as we didn't respond in panic and respond to fear, we tended to come out okay.
Right. The back of this card, I guess we'll just end it on this note if it's okay.
That's fine by me.
I cross all bridges with joy and ease. The old unfolds into wonderful new experiences. My life gets better all the time. And so it is. And so it shall be. And so it shall remain. Even though I can't say it.
Blah, blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's really important. Let's keep thinking about, we're safe right now. We're safe. We are safe.
That's a hard one for me to remember sometimes. I find myself responding to not feeling safe when I know I am.
It's scary out there right now. It really is. But we just got to remember that we're here together, and that together we'll keep reaching out, and we'll keep withstanding, and we'll keep reminding each other that there's yes, spiritual warfare at work right now, but we are here counterbalancing that each time we gather in our liminal spaces with our energy and our love. So until next time, which might be tomorrow or it might be next Tuesday, you never know. Oh, before I forget to tell you, I'm going to be on Reverend Patience's live stream on Sunday, August 10th at, I believe, I'll correct this if I'm wrong, I believe it is 3 p.m. Central. And I don't remember where. Indigo Psychics Network, maybe? I'll let you all know. I'll let you know. But put it on your calendar, 3 p.m. Central, Gussy and Patience car. It'll be a hoot. It always is. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us. Visit our YouTube channel because we're trying to get it to grow. Please, 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 please. Have a blessed evening and stay magical.
Stay magical.